So today we're going to discuss how you can get citizenship by investment in St. Lucia. And from the person who've done it probably 50 times until now, I think I can get you some, well, insightful information. Hello everyone, I'm Irena. I'm Deputy Operations Manager at Nomad Capitalist, where we help people to go where they're treated best. How can someone qualify for this citizenship? So there are a couple of ways where you can qualify for St. Lucia Citizenship Investment Program. The first one, and I think the most popular one, and personally my favorite, is by donation. So if you want to donate $100,000 into National Economic Fund, you will be able to qualify for St. Lucia Citizenship Investment. Now, if you want to submit your application together with the spouse, that number goes up to $140,000. If you have a family of 4, the number goes up to $150,000, and every applicant above 4 can be added for additional $15,000. I would say that this is definitely one of the cheapest options if you're a single applicant. However, for the families, I think there may be some better options out there for you. Now we go to the second option. The second option is real estate investment. Personally, not my favorite, and I will go into just very quickly on the reasons why. So with the real estate investment, you'll have to purchase a property of a minimum value of $200,000. It sounds good actually to have a vacation home in the Caribbean and you can go there at any time and so on. But usually this project has to be pre-approved by the government. And those properties are usually some timeshare options where you can only spend like 14 days a year there or something. So it might not be that beneficial. Of course, there are options outside of the timeshare options, but it's much higher than $200,000. For example, you can purchase it for $500,000, but why would you do that if you want to qualify for citizenship? Might as well go with the donation option. It requires maintenance, I guess, and a bit more fees in the long run. And apart from that, apart from actually $200,000, there are also some side fees that you will have to pay. $30,000 that you would have to pay for a single applicant, $45,000 for example, if you want to apply for it with a spouse, and each qualifying dependent over the age of 18, you would have to pay additionally $10,000. So all in all, I think the donation is a bit more cheaper. The third option is, well, very expensive. It requires enterprise investment, and you will have to donate $3,500,000 into the enterprise project. So as a result of this, you would have to create 3 permanent jobs for St. Lucian citizens. This can be, for example, marinas, restaurants, or something like that. Again, I think it's quite expensive, so I don't think that this is a very good option. The fourth one and the final one includes government bonds. And with this option, you'd need to invest a minimum of $300,000 in government bonds. Again, not the cheapest option. So to sum it up, my favorite one would definitely be donation. It takes probably around 4 months to get it through donation route. So with the real estate and with others, it takes a bit longer because there is much more thorough due diligence to complete. And again, donation is probably the cheapest one out there. Why this citizenship over others? To me personally, St. Lucia is one of my favorites. I'm looking from the operational point of view, I think. So I will mention a couple of reasons why I prefer St. Lucian citizenship over others. Firstly, St. Lucia offers visa-free access to 146 countries, including, for example, European Schengen area, Hong Kong, UK, and others. It requires a visa for some destinations such as the US, Canada, New Zealand, and so on. But if you have, for example, Tier A passport, such as the US passport or something, it pretty much fills all the gaps that you have with your original passport. I think apart from this, the one thing that I like about St. Lucia is that it's very easy. Well, it's never easy to collect all the documents, but St. Lucia is one of the countries who do not require you to apostille documents for the submission. So for those of you who already done that, I think that apostille probably takes around, well, depending on where you are, but it can take approximately a month to get. So it really shortened up the process for the documents collection. However, St. Lucia does require you to, along with the documents, to show the credentials of the notary or the translator who translated the documents, but it's pretty easily done. When you're at a notary, you just request it, and that's pretty much it. So that's one thing that I like. Another thing that I really like about St. Lucia is that you don't have to wait for your whole application to be completed and then submit it, but you can just submit it from the very beginning, document by document, and the Citizenship Investment Unit will just start the pre-processing from the very beginning. So that, again, shortens up the process if we compare it to, for example, Antigua and Barbuda, Grenada, or something else. And the final one, I think, is that, I don't know if you know this, but St. Lucia just recently started with like online applications. So there is actually no need to ship all the documents to the Citizenship Investment Unit. All you have to do is to ship a couple of documents. For example, some documents they need to see in person. So for example, the birth certificate, copy of the passport, and some forms that you need to fill out. But the rest, for example, reference letters and so on, you can just upload them to the online portal and they will start the processing immediately. I think this is pretty great because if you ship the documents, I know what you're thinking, right? So if you ship the documents, for example, today, you have the documents that have a validity date and those will expire in 2 days. You think, well, I'm okay, right? I will just ship the documents. It will arrive to St. Lucia 1 day before the expiration. It doesn't really work like that. It takes time for them to review the documents. And by the time they review it, well, your, for example, HIV test already expired. So I think this is a very good option. And St. Lucia is currently the only country in the Caribbean, I won't say in the Caribbean, in the world, that allows online applications. So St. Lucian Citizenship by Investment Program is also, again, one of my favorites. And that's because of very quick processing times in comparison to others. So it takes approximately 3 to 4 months to receive it once the documents have been submitted. The hardest part is collecting the documents. And I think that for that, you probably need help. If you know someone who went through this process alone, they will tell you what a hassle it is. And I can tell you what a hassle it is, even though I'm not doing it for myself. But once you collect the documents, all you need to do is just kind of sit back and relax and wait for 3 to 4 months to have the approval letter. The passport is issued for 5 years. After those 5 years, you need to renew it. It's always recommendable to renew it approximately 6 months before the expiration, but you don't have to go there. You can just submit, either renew your passport sitting at your home by hiring a lawyer in St. Lucia, or you can do it through the St. Lucian consulate if there is one in the place where you reside. So neither during the application process or during the approval or after that, you don't need to go to St. Lucia at any point. So basically you don't need to step foot there. Although I was really recommending it's on my bucket list, but there is no language test required either. There is no physical presence required, literally nothing. So you'll still be the citizen of that country and you basically never step a foot there. So that's it for now. That's actually how you get citizenship by investment in St. Lucia. I know it sounds easy, but again, document collection process is never easy. There are so many things that you need to do. There is so much planning that you need to do and so on. So that's why you probably need the help of a professional, and that's where we came in. So let me give you an example on how we can help you out. When you hire a lawyer, you think, well, yeah, that's it. I have a lawyer and they will instruct me on what to do. Pretty much everything that they will do is to send you a list of required documents. And they will say, please provide the source of funds documents. Well, you have no idea what it is, right? And you have no idea because, well, you have 5 businesses, you have crypto, you have bonds, you have everything. That is where we come in to say exactly on which document you need to submit and at what time, because, well, all the documents have a validity date. You don't want to do that. Plus, I would say that generally in the Caribbean, it's very hard to find a lawyer who has a good knowledge. And that's, again, where we come in. We have our own network of lawyers and vendors, and we can recommend and work with them as well. So if you didn't like this option, maybe you can check out some other Caribbean citizenship investment programs out there. But if you feel completely lost, maybe you can consider visiting Kuala Lumpur in our Nomad Capitalist live conference this September, where we will explore pretty much all the options that exist in the world. Hope you liked it. If this is not the option that you think is most suitable for you, check out some other videos that we have and also visit our website for more info. Let us know what you think in the comments.